Hey everyone, welcome to Colby Plans. I'm Colby, and thank you for joining me today for my 2021 Bujo Setup. We're going to be setting up my new Archer and Olive journal for 2021. Normally I use the Licktern 1917, but I really found that I liked the thickness of the pages and the brightness of them. So I did a couple tests and there was no ghosting. I was so happy. So this is my kind of intro page. You'll see I sketched everything in pencil first because I'm that person and I'm going to mess up. And you'll see here in a moment that things started to get a little wonky when my stapler fine liner that I'm using decided it didn't want to draw. Yeah, that was great. So anyway, I switched to my Microline Studio pens. It took a minute, but I got them working the way I needed them to. I'm honestly surprised that these numbers came out as good as they did. And I say this as we get to the number 1, because the pencil sketch was crooked. And then my pen decided to go straight down and then start to intersect. So I spent probably 10 minutes fixing that, and I got rid of that for you so that you didn't have to suffer watching that. Because God, I didn't want to watch it again. So this is my dot grid page. I first saw this on, I think it was Amanda Rach Lee's channel. It could have been someone else's. I've watched a couple of videos from different channels with the dot grid page, and I thought to myself when I saw that, well, hell, why haven't you done this? Because I'm constantly counting the dots and the squares and where I should put things, and so seeing this has opened my eyes to new ways. The markers I'm using here, or the pens I'm using here, are, I think they're Bic. I think it's like Big Intensity. I never really got to use them for anything until this. I got them a while ago and I was honestly contemplating tossing them or giving them to someone because I never use them. But I'm really glad I didn't. They worked really, really well for this page. So this page here, this is my goals and resolutions page. Just kind of a short overview of what I'm planning for the year. I had decided that I wanted to continue with the Moon and Stars theme from the intro page. And I actually kind of got a little excited with this one because when I was writing this down, it reminds me of the Sailor Moon title. Like, it just looks like something that would be associated with Sailor Moon. So I enjoyed looking at it. But I also got really, really tired really, really fast of using a compass to draw out part of a moon and then trace it over properly without it looking wonky. So this is pretty much the last time in this Bujo that I'm going to have the moon. The pen I'm using here and in a couple other pages is the Papermate Flare. I believe this pen's the medium size. They write really nice. Like, it takes a couple lines to really get everything going with it. Like, the nib is really, really stiff at first, but it will lighten up and write properly after a few attempts. So this is kind of like the previous page. It's like a monthly accomplishments and goals. So this is going to be like focusing in per month on what my goals are, what I managed to accomplish, as well as something of a really, really brief future log, because as you'll notice, I have a lot of planners where I track that kind of stuff. And then my camera died, so I kept working without realizing it. No Bujo is complete without a book tracker. So I had to make one, and I had to make the stereotypical one with the books on the shelves and writing in the titles in the spines. And then as I'm outlining, what do I notice but, hey, dumbass, you drew the books too small. So what are you gonna fit in there? I continued on, I colored them in, and, you know, I might just list the books beneath it or draw another shelf, because I do want to read more books this year. I don't read the way I should. So hopefully I'll read more than just a small handful this year. Send me some recommendations. I don't know why I decided to color in the books this round rather than wait until I got everything sketched and outlined and then colored, but I did. And honestly, I wasn't sure what colors I wanted the books to be, but I think in the end I chose some pretty nice colors. Mostly, you know, muted exuberance, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, I really liked the little plant, not because, you know, it's a work of art or anything, like, but it reminds me of an oddish, like the round pot for the body and then the leaves. The only problem is that mine is like a really, really sad oddish. The video game page. I don't want to say I struggled with this one, but like I debated with myself a lot over how I wanted to design this page. In the end, I went with something really boring, and it was just a computer monitor with a controller and a mouse on it. What I might end up doing is just writing the names of the games I play beneath it, like all of them, and then putting my top 3 on the screen. I'll figure it out. No lies, I'm really proud of how the controller turned out, even if it's cartoony and a little not sophisticated. I don't know, I thought I did a pretty good job. I'm not an artist, I was proud of myself. What I wasn't proud of, though, was the mouse. Because, honestly, it looks like sperm. I like to write. So this page is going to be a word count tracker. For each month I'll write down how many words I've written. My goal is to be at like 20,000 words a month, but we'll see what happens. I only erased lightly because I tried being cute with the lettering with it. like lowering the center of each letter. And it would have been cute if the lower part of B wasn't so weird looking. And then, as you'll see here, the C on December. I don't know what happened there, but it did. So now I'm going through so that I can color in and decorate a little bit more. I kept it, after this page you'll see, I kept it pretty minimal, simply because I'm not entirely sure what I want to do with the rest of it, but I knew exactly what I wanted for the intro page, and so I went with it. Honestly, I'm not an artist, and I can't remember why I bought these watercolor paints, but I did, and I'm really glad I did. For the moon, what I wanted to do was do the crescent in silver, and then the unlit part of the moon in black, you know, because it's a new moon. So for this, I pulled out my acrylics, and I don't think it shows quite the same on the screen as it did in real life, but it's not really a black or even like a dull gray. It's like a brown. So very upset about it. I finished in the acrylic. I did have a silver watercolor, so I took some of that. I put a little bit of water in it, and it came out kind of solid. So when I finished with that, I decided, well, if I could do that with the silver for the moon, why can't I do that, or for the crescent, then why can't I do that with the black for the new moon part? So I did the same thing that I did with the silver. I got some more black paint, and I just kind of went for it. Yeah, it looks a lot better. I still have to go back and fill in a couple spots, but for the most part, way better than that acrylic. I kind of kept with the silver crescent and the watercolors for this one. Colored in the silver with the watercolors. And then decorating the title with the blue watercolor, which honestly I should have left it with it kind of like the underline, or just like coloring in a path of the letter height. I think that'd have been really cool, but no, I had to go and expand it. For the monthly accomplishments and goals, I didn't touch the watercolors again. Instead, what I did was I took my mild liners. I wanted to keep it kind of like matched with the teal title, and then but keep it kind of muted. So I had like a blue, I had a mint green, which looks like the blue, and then I had a burnt orange, and then the darker teal. I kept the gold in the darker teal to keep it in line, but still kind of be a little more saturated, and then the burnt orange for the accomplishments, because I want to be able to list things under that subheader that really, really catch your eye. And so really quick, just a small flip through, I got my title page, or my name page with Colby plans, my really, really neat title page, I'm going to put a quote under there, my dot grid guide, my goals and resolutions. I really like how that moon sparkles. Then my monthly accomplishments and goals. My books, and then what will be my movies and TV page, my video games, and my word counts. And then that page, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but we'll do something. Thanks everybody for watching my video. See you again soon.